I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Donald Trump just posted on his social media platform, apparently celebrating that the Westchester County of New York District Attorney's Office will not be bringing criminal charges against him in connection with a 2-year investigation that was taking place. I'll explain what that investigation is in just a moment, but in reality, the reason why the Westchester County District Attorney is not pursuing criminal charges is not because Donald Trump did not engage in criminal conduct. It was because the charges were either outside of the statute of limitations or there was overlapping jurisdiction with the New York Attorney General, and the New York Attorney General has already brought civil fraud charges against Donald Trump, which are set to go to trial on October 2nd, 2023, before Judge Arthur Engoron, where New York Attorney General Letitia James is seeking at least $250 million in damages, as well as injunctive relief that would effectively shut down the Trump Organization, Donald Trump and his adult children, from ever conducting business again in New York. So believe it or not, the criminal charges and the penalties that would ultimately flow were actually less than the charges in a civil proceeding that's currently taking place would get from a jury that New York Attorney General Letitia James is bringing, where she can get injunctive relief to stop Donald Trump and the Trump Organization and his adult children from conducting business in New York again, and seeking at least $250 million, but probably in the billions of dollars in damages. And also, to me, this reinforces as well that the Manhattan District Attorney is still investigating criminal conduct against Donald Trump regarding fraudulent financial valuations, which is also the topic of the New York Attorney General's civil fraud lawsuit set to go to trial in October of 2023, in addition to the criminal charges, the 34 separate felony counts of falsification of business records that Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg has already brought. So far from this being a celebratory thing for Donald Trump, it doesn't mean that the Westchester County District Attorney found that there was no wrongdoing. It was just the wrongdoing either happened too long in the past that they can't reach it, and it doesn't matter because the New York Attorney General's case is addressing that issue with more powerful remedies. But this is how Donald Trump cast it. He goes, after going through a criminal investigation for 2 years by the District Attorney's Office in Westchester County, New York, it was just announced that the case has been dropped and no charges will be filed. This was the honorable thing to do in that I did nothing wrong, but where and when do I get my reputation back? When will the other fake cases against me be dropped? Election interference, exclamation point, exclamation point. This story was broken by the Insider website, and they talk about how the prosecutor found that the evidence collected in the investigation was either outside the statute of limitations or it overlapped with investigations underway by other law enforcement officials, New York Attorney General, Manhattan District Attorney. And this was provided to the Insider, which confirms that that's the reason why the criminal investigation was dropped. It goes on to say, much of the materials came under the jurisdiction of the New York Attorney General's office. The District Attorney's office can pursue only criminal cases, while the Attorney General's office has the power to bring civil lawsuits. Just so you know what this is about, it's the exact same thing that New York Attorney General Letitia James is focused on: fraudulent valuations, and specifically fraudulent valuations at one of Donald Trump's golf courses in Westchester County, and whether Donald Trump inflated or deflated the valuation of the property in his statement of financial conditions when it would support him in a given situation. You would tell taxing authorities one thing, you would tell lenders another thing, you would tell insurance authorities another thing, when and where that fit your specific needs, which of course is criminal. So that's what this relates to. Going into the article that was published by the Insider, it talks about how the District Attorney's Office in Westchester County, north of New York City, opened the investigation 2 years ago. It examined whether the former president's family business illegally misled authorities about the value of the Trump National Golf Club, Westchester, to pay lower property taxes for years leading up to the criminal investigation. The local area, of course, was entangled in, as they all are with Donald Trump properties, civil litigation with the club over the property's true value and appropriate tax bill, court records reviewed by the Insider Show. In 2020, the office subpoenaed financial records from the golf course, according to the New York Times. In the years since, public information about the investigation has been scarce. That's probably why you haven't even heard about this until now. According to a person familiar with the case, the investigation's scope eventually expanded into Donald Trump's personal conduct in determining the golf club's valuation. It also explains how the Manhattan District Attorney's Office has been looking into the company's finances even longer, going to the Supreme Court twice of the United States to get tax records. And the article goes on to say how Manhattan prosecutors brought criminal charges against the company and then CFO Alan Weisselberg in the summer of 2021, alleging they falsified payroll tax records. And of course, the Trump organization was found guilty. It is a felony organization right now, so as adjudicated by a jury. So when Donald Trump says, "When am I getting my reputation back?" a jury has found that the Trump organization is a felony organization. A federal jury has found that you engaged in a sexual assault of E. Jean Carroll and defamation. Your CFO pled guilty to felony tax crimes. And so in terms of your reputation, you are the one to blame because of your traitorousness, criminality, and malignant narcissism. So when you put these facts together, and by the way, I'll mention this, within the Attorney General's lawsuit, it specifically talks about this golf course. I want to point that out. It says the following: at Mr. Trump's golf course in Westchester, the valuation for 2011 assumed new members would pay an initiation fee of nearly $200,000 for each of the 67 unsold memberships, even though many new members in that year paid no initiation fee at all, the lawsuit alleged. In some instances, Mr. Trump specifically directed club employees to reduce or eliminate initiation fees to boost membership numbers. The inflated valuations helped bring up Trump's net worth, which allowed him to obtain more favorable insurance and bank loan rates, the Attorney General's lawsuit alleges. The lawsuit also claims the Trump organization misrepresented the property value of its 212-acre Seven Springs estate, also in Westchester, and that case is scheduled for an October trial. So one of the ways he tried to inflate the valuation of his property is by claiming that the members were paying $200,000 each when they actually were not paying that fee, and then he was able to get more favorable loans. And then he misrepresented the value of his 212-acre Seven Springs estate as well. And so again, here, the issue is not that Donald Trump was found to be innocent. The issue was not that Donald Trump did nothing wrong. The issue is simply that jurisdictionally, these claims could be brought by the New York Attorney General, which they are, in the civil fraud case set to go to trial October 2nd of 2023, and also potentially in a future Manhattan District Attorney criminal case. So this is all very bad news for Donald Trump, but you know, with everything that MAGA Republicans do, with everything that Donald Trump does, it's all spin. And so for him, the fact that there is no investigation, he's going to post about it and say, see, this was all a witch hunt. Everything's a witch hunt. Everybody's out to get me. See here. But here's the thing, folks. That trial, the New York Attorney General case, that will be going to trial October 2nd, 2023. Justice Arthur Engoron said, come hell or high water, that's going to trial. The Manhattan District Attorney criminal case is going to trial in March of 2024. The E. Jean Carroll second defamation case, trial's just been set there, January 15th of 2024. So 3 cases set for trial That doesn't even include special counsel Jack Smith's cases. That doesn't include Phony Willis's cases. It doesn't include a future Manhattan District Attorney criminal case, which I think the Manhattan DA is going to bring another criminal case against Donald Trump after you have New York Attorney General Letitia James prevails in October. So actually good news here to report, but Donald Trump will spread the lies to his base, but want to break that down for you. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. We are on our way to 1.5 million subscribers thanks to your support. Check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch. And wherever you get audio podcasts, subscribe to the MeidasTouch podcast and have an excellent day.
At MeidasTouch, we are unapologetically pro-democracy, and we demand justice and accountability. That's why we're spreading our message to Convict 45. That's right, gear up right now with your Convict 45 tees and pins at store.MeidasTouch.com. That's store.MeidasTouch.com.